Rob and Slim Show.
Hey guys, it's Jim Mendrinos.
Jim Mendrinos, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good. You're a comedian, writer, filmmaker from New York City, correct?
That is correct.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been doing comedy for?
Oh, Jesus. 109 years? No,
Very good.
Over 30.
Cool.
Over
Wow.
30 years.
So you've had your time in. How long did it take you to make a name for yourself?
That's difficult because, in my opinion, I still don't have the name I want. So, for me, I was working and I've never had to do anything else but stand-up since I'm 20 years old. So less than a year in, I was already making a living. But, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. But the other side of it is, nobody gets in here to go, hey, I want to make a living. Everyone goes in here to go, hey, I want to be on the cover of Teen Beat magazine and have, teenage girls swoon over me and all that stuff. So
I think I would just be good at making a living, though. I think I would.
You know what? You think you would, but ego comes in, and you want more. And if you don't want more, you really shouldn't be a comic.
Yeah, but then you got guys like Dane Cook, that guy blew up, and then, like, where the fuck is he now? Like, I'm sure he's still doing shit, but he just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want that kind of a career either. I mean, I would sure as hell take the short-term money. I'm not going to lie, but I want that nice, steady career where you hit all the things you want to do. I mean, I've got one continent left to perform on all the inhabited continents.
Wow!
I just have to hit Australia. That's the last one I have left.
Wow!
I've got 4 states left till I've got all 50 U.S. states.
Wow.
And technically I've done all 50 U.S. states, but I need to get paid in these last 4 because that's how it counts for me.
What's your favorite place that you performed?
Singularly, the club's no longer there, but for many years there was a beautiful club in Corpus Christi, Texas called the High Tide Comedy Club, and another beautiful club in San Francisco called the Holy City Zoo. And those were my 2 favorite clubs ever. And they were both the polar opposite in terms of what comedy clubs are. Corpus Christi was a big, huge, headliner room that sat 400 people and, was a destination kind of show, like a Caroline's or a Gotham.
Yeah.
And the Holy City Zoo was very much your standard little hole in the wall. It had 2 tiers. It had a balcony section, but it didn't seat more than 85 people, and it was just a whole bunch of San Francisco elite intellectuals coming, and they damn near, snap their fingers when they liked the joke as opposed to laughing. But the vibe in each one was different. And I mean, for me, a lot of it for me is I love the history of comedy. So to be on that stage, and that's a stage I know Mort Saul played a lot. That's a stage that I know that Lenny Bruce played. So for me, that was like, wow, that's the stage.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Wow. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen happen performing comedy?
I've seen a lot of crazy shit happen in comedy. The craziest one I've ever been personally involved in was a near riot. Well, there's no such thing as a near riot. It's either riot or not riot.
Yeah.
It was a riot at a comedy club in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Back in the 90s, there was...
I thought you were going to say, like, Civil War statues. I didn't want to go there.
No. No. Although that would have been fun. Back in the 90s, there was a chain of comedy clubs called the Comedy Zone. There's still a few of them left around in the South, but they would put you on these horrible one-nighter tours, where in, like, Tuesday night, you'd be in Montgomery, Alabama, and Wednesday night, you'd be in Tupelo, Mississippi, and Thursday night, you're somewhere in Georgia. And they had a room that was famous for just being a horrible room, and it was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And every comic referred to it as Vietnam because it was just that bad. Nothing but drunken soldiers on a Sunday night.
Oh.
And they introduced me as from New York. I get on stage, and first of all, the stage is taller than the seats that are below the stage. So, so there's a table, and then the audience going out from there. And the guy right at the front table, who was a very drunken soldier, goes, "You're from New York? Well, you must be a faggot." And he says that about 10 times. And they're like,
he's got the line of the night.
Just relax, dude.
Yeah.
And then he starts yelling up, "Are you a Jew? Are you a Jew? Are you a Jew?" And I'm there like, dude, you need to relax.
Yeah.
So after about 25 minutes of this, he goes back to, "Are you a faggot?" And I immediately jump from the stage onto his table, onto the floor, and I grab his head and I kiss him.
Wow.
On the mouth.
Good, good. I've never been happier.
Like, you're going to, yeah.
Good.
And
dumbass trailer retard.
Yeah.
About 15 seconds, there's nothing, and then a huge riot.
Did they jump on you, or?
Oh, they jumped on everybody. I mean, he wanted to jump on me, and people wanted to jump on him.
Yeah.
They were jumping on me because they wanted to see the show, and it was cartoonish in that it looked like the final scene from Blazing Saddles. That big fight. It looked like that. There's people in uniforms fighting with country guys, fighting with guys with mullets, and I'm there like, this is just. If I were still dropping acid, this would be amazing.
I just picture like a cloud of smoke, a leg poking out here and there, like a nice Looney Tunes scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... And when the cops came and broke it up, I mean, they escorted me. They took me to the hotel. They said, "Pack your bags. You're leaving town tonight." And then they're like, "Okay, I guess my hotel reservation was revoked."
Oh my God, they ran you out of town. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. That's pretty fucking. That's a story. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever been back there?
I've not been back to that club, but I have played in Fayetteville a couple of times.
Okay. Ever have that guy come see you? Ever have that guy show up?
No, never again, thank God.
Good
But
shit.
I'm sure if he listens to the podcast, he's going to go, "That son of a bitch! I forgot his name!"
Oh my God, man! What a piece of garbage! What a piece of garbage! What
Yeah, you get them kinds.
I saw you have a book too. You wrote, "The Complete Idiot's Guide to Writing Comedy." What's the best advice you would give somebody just starting out in comedy?
It's write every day. Even if you don't think it's good, write every day, because the more you write, the more you train yourself to look for funny shit.
Okay.
And if you just focus on... Because I always hear people complain that they suffer from writer's block, and I'm like, "How often do you write?" They go, "Whenever, I think of something." Yeah. And I'm there like, really? Because, I mean, if you wrote for an hour a day, anybody, and let's assume that you're a complete idiot.
Yeah.
Accidentally, you'd find one 10-second joke a day.
Cool.
That's a minute a week. That's an hour a year, and comics don't get enough stage time to develop an hour a year. And that's just accidentally if you're an idiot. And people think that writing is like this mystical, "Oh, I can't do it." You can. You're just a lazy fuck sitting in a chair, grab a notebook or open a computer and just fucking do it.
Cool. So I was going to ask, do you feel that anybody could?
There's degrees. I don't think that, I don't think everybody could write Carlin level material, but I think everybody can write to a level.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us are going to, sit down and start writing and go, I want to smash produce. And others of us are going to, come up with the 7 words you can't say on television. Yeah. There's talent levels in this.
There's a huge spectrum in that field.
Yes, there is.
Between smashing produce and seven fucking words. That's great.
And we all have the same job description, which is the most amazing thing.
Is there any, you ever see somebody and you're like, they fucking consider this guy my equal, and you're just like, fuck. fuck.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, there have been times where I've been booked to open for somebody, and they're like, "Do you really want to do that? Are you sure about that?"
I find that on just an everyday level. Like I had a job once, and my buddy Jay was like, "Rob, come here. That person they consider our peer, our equal," and I almost fell over. I was laughing so hard. This person was such a dummy. He's such a dummy.
There was a gentleman who appeared on a reality show that was doing stand-up, and they said it was a theater up in Ithaca that wanted me to open for him, and it was 2 nights, 4 shows, and it was me and him. They said, "Jim, you come out, you do 30 minutes. He'll come out and do 45. And no harm, no foul." And I go out the first night and I do my 30, and he walks on stage and does 15. And then the second show, they go to me, "Can you do a little longer and we'll give you more money?" And I'm there like, "If you give me more money, I will jump up and down for an hour. I got no problem." They give me more money, and I do a longer show, and he does his 15. And then I get there the next night, and there's 2 other comics on the bill as well, and they're like, "Okay, so he's going to MC, and we're going to bill it as him and friends, and then you'll go up at the end and close with 45." And they're like, "Now I'm headlining."
Yes.
Yeah, you need to give me more money now if I'm headlining this theater.
Absolutely.
So I literally almost tripled my salary by somebody getting an opportunity that they weren't able to do.
Wow.
So I've got no problem when people say, "Do you want to open for this guy?" If the money's right, yeah, I do. And if he can't handle it, dude, flip us, and I'll be happy to take the money.
Yeah. Yes. That's cool. I saw your Greek god of comedy said it was really great, but I wanted to ask if you could teach us some Greek curse words, because I know Italian, I know Turkish, I know Spanish, but I don't know any Greek curse words.
Most Greek curses are things like "nah," which is, it doesn't sound like anything, and it doesn't really mean anything. You're just saying the 5 nails that were nailed into Jesus, which for some reason in Eastern Europe, that's a huge curse.
Fucking wrist holes. That's what I say. Wrist holes and ankle holes.
Yeah. I mean, there's the big famous Greek curse is malaka, which just means jerk off. But that anytime they have a movie with a Greek guy, malaka, agamizu's very underrated. That's Greek for fuck you.
What was that one? Azumizu?
Azumizu?
Agamizu.
Azamizus.
Yeah. It just sounds like some kind of a soup you'd get at the Japanese
or like a rap or something, like a gyro or something.
Like a rapper. Oh, I thought like a rapper. I'm Azumizus.
Yeah.
Azumizu sauce on it.
A great
His record drops next week. I think Nicki Minaj does a little bit on it.
She's definitely featured on that.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I almost didn't come on because you guys tore apart one of my videos on your show.
Really?
We did?
What?
Yes, you did.
Wow, which one?
Yes, you did.
Now I feel bad.
Oh, man. I did a Christmas parody video of Blurred Lines.
That was
John Green, who was the actor. And I'm listening to all the shit you said, and I'm there like, when you guys invited me on the show, I'm there like, "Oh man, how like you get revenge."
Oh, I thought that was another guy.
Something about minutes of your life you'll never have back.
That was the other guy, though.
That was another guy, though, right?
Oh, sure. Nothing about the actual video. It was
I didn't know.
The
production was good.
Yeah, it was produced greatly.
So it's not that
He liked the production. We just didn't like him.
You've reached the proper level of sucking up. We may not do that.
I retract my previous.
Did you cast that one too? Was it...
You know what it was, and it's ridiculous. But when the idea came across the desk, because I have the company New Media Comedy, and we produce a whole lot of funny videos online, and we have a TV show on Amazon Prime called Living in Exile. But when it came across and they said, do you want to do a Christmas video? And they're like, it is November 15th. And then they start, well, we're going to do a parody of Blurred Lines and with Santa Claus playing Robin Thicke. And they're like, this is so fun and stupid. And people will watch this. and they did. People watched it in droves. And it was amazingly ridiculous. And then you guys came and shat all over my goodness.
Oh, fuck.
I can't believe that. You people. I like how I actually brought the interview to a grinding fucking halt by mentioning that. You guys were there like, I don't know what to talk to him about now.
I did see I did see the Santa Claus video. Oh my god. Slim, why'd you say all that bad shit?
I like the strippers in it.
Look, here's all that matters to me. You watched it, which meant my count went up. That's all. Have we not learned that it's not about art anymore? It's all an algorithm.
Oh man, Jim, I did see though that Living in Exile was said to be the funniest show he's ever seen by Chris Rock.
Yeah, and that is wonderful because whenever he has said that or tweeted that, we've gotten tons of extra views.
Wow!
And here's the whole thing. I hope that he's being honest, but if he's just saying it to help me out, I'll take that too.
Yes,
but it was nice of him to say it, and no cash was exchanged for him saying that, so I'm very happy.
And that's a web series you have, correct?
No, it's actually a TV series, and it's on Amazon Prime.
I thought it was on Amazon Prime. And what is it about?
A middle-aged guy who's been married for 14 years gets blindsided by his wife and goes through a divorce, and he has to learn how to date again. And if you were married that long, there's been a big technology shift. So everything from texting people instead of calling them to, you can't meet people at bars anymore, all of that stuff.
Wow.
And
cool.
it came about because I'm at an age where all of my friends were all getting divorced at the exact same time. And they would all make the same mistakes. Like they'd get divorced. Then there'd be the alcohol issues. Then there'd be the dating a girl that's way too fucking young for you. Then it's, dating your stalker. And it was every bad choice. It was like a manual. Like, are you in your 40s and divorced? Here, do this.
Here's an equation, yes.
Yeah.
Here's a sitcom.
Yeah, so it was at that point we went, yeah, let's do it. And
cool.
I wasn't supposed to be in the sitcom. I was just supposed to direct. But the actor that we hired to do it chickened out the day before we started filming.
Wow.
So my other production partners were there like, guess what you're doing tomorrow? And I'm there like, fuck me.
Oh, man. Did it change for you at that point? Like, did you like it more or less at that point?
Well, here's the whole thing. When I wrote it, I was still married. And then, when you're doing pre-production can take 3 to 6 months. In that 3 to 6 months, my wife and I broke up. So now I was living what was exactly in the sitcom, and it was like, this is way too meta. This is not comfortable at all. Yeah, so it was a little difficult for me, but in the end, it was fun.
Cool.
I'd love to say it was cathartic or this or that, but, I was pretty panicked on a few things. And then, of course, my DP was playing, like, unbelievably mean practical jokes on me the entire time on the set. So,
is it still in production?
We are in the middle of producing season 2.
Okay.
We produced season one and one on a couple of different networks, and now it's on Amazon Prime. Have I plugged that enough? I think I have.
Amazon Prime.
And now Amazon Prime has asked us to finish season 2, which we started, but I had started it, and then I had a little accident, so I had to put it on the hold for a while, and now we're finishing it up even as we speak.
Cool. Very cool. So when is that going to start playing?
With any luck, it'll start going up in about February of next year.
Okay, cool.
But it's a bigger pain in the butt because when we started, it was on Stay Tuned Television and Launch TV, which were really small networks. So when they're on really small networks, you call up the network executive and say like, "Hey Bob, when's my show going up?" And he's like, "Tuesday at 9." And now it's on Amazon Prime, and it's, just getting them to call me back. And they're like, "You guys are giving me checks. Can somebody answer the phone?"
Right? You think they'd be able to help you out with that?
Yeah. Every once in a while, and when I want them to call me back, I go, "Hey, I lost the tapes, and we're not going to be able to deliver on time." And then they immediately call back.
Yeah. That's great. I saw too.
Yeah, if I have an issue, I can just screw myself.
I saw your series Lighter Side of Death, and I saw you have a preoccupation with death. And
I do.
What?
Yeah.
What do you think causes that?
What causes a preoccupation with death? I think being alive causes a preoccupation with death. I think once you're on the planet and they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to be here forever," that can definitely get it. But I'm one of those fairly morbid people.
Okay.
Like really, really unbelievably morbid for whatever reason.
Nice.
Like when my sister-in-law had her baby, and Jesse's telling me, "Oh, the baby isn't cute," and they're like, "Yeah." And this year, life expectancy for a male born in the U.S. is 79 years. So it's like I'm immediately thinking, when the kid's gonna die.
Oh fuck.
Which might be the reason why they don't let me hold the kid. I'm not sure.
Oh man. When do you think we actually start dying? Like I figured like somewhere in our 30s we start falling apart.
Well, falling apart and dying are two different things because actually just flat out physiologically, from the moment you're born, you start the process of dying.
See, I didn't think so. I figured you were growing. Like once you had, you were when you stopped growing, I figured is when you start dying.
It's like 20.
The brain cells start dying from the second you're out of the womb.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, when I was doing the research for the show, I would come across all these really weird facts that would just make me even more depressed and upset.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So little babies have those big eyes, and then as they grow, you would think the brain gets bigger. Nope.
Wow.
The size of the brain gets bigger, but the capacity gets smaller.
Wow. See, I figured, through your 20s, you were just rocking. You were just like fucking perfect, and then after that, wow.
Yeah. Here's the whole thing, though. Everyone says, this is the decade where the most... We don't get a decade. You had like a weekend, dude. You had like a weekend in August of '94 where you were at your peak, and then from there it's been shit ever since. And that's all of us. We want to kid ourselves and go, "My 20s, I was spectacular." No, you were a drunken slob for most of it, and you had like a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
That is life.
That is #life.
Yeah. We're hashtagging this now?
Yeah, yes. Now
Stop bashing my video.
Did Slimbo have questions for him too, I think?
No, Slimbo's got questions for
These
later.
are the same questions. From the list.
Jim, we have to wrap this up, dude, but where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jim Mendrinos. You can also go to my Facebook fan page, which is Jim Mendrinos. And guys, all joking aside, thanks for having me on the show.
Dude, it's been great. It's been great talking to you. Thanks for coming on. And thanks for making Snowblind.
Yeah, that video was amazing.
I'm going to watch it 3 more times.
You'll never get those minutes back. Remember that. So when you're dying on your deathbed, you'll think, if I only had those 4 minutes back. And you won't.
You took them, Jim. You
It's not
stole
going to
them.
happen.
You're a time stealer.
Is that how you're extending your life?
You can add that to your resume. Time stealer.
That's how I'm stealing everyone's souls through YouTube videos. and I'm hoping to just wind that into my own cult eventually.
Oh, shit. Thank you so much, Jim.
Anytime. I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
We're going
You too. Bye-bye.
Later.